everybody. Grab the hot bartender to your left, the cute salvage manager from your right. Grab a chair, conjure a table, and get comfortable. And join us to talk about all things the dungeon run. Ah! This last episode was amazing and crazy. So, some of my overarching thoughts, I think that this is probably one of my favorite episodes. I'm gonna say probably top five, and I'm gonna rate
Really?
it. Yeah, top five. I love horror. It had so much of that. It had suspense. It had comedy. Even it had character development. It had Whitebeard. I mean, what was missing from this episode? Nothing. I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10 malls.
Wow.
9 out of 10 malls. I really think it was that great. What about you? What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts were this was a really spooky episode, and I think it's going to get even more spooky as it comes. And it was
So,
really, really neat with all the spookiness. But if it gets even spookier, I might just have to pull up my blankie and start sucking on my thumb while watching these because I'm a scaredy cat and can't do horror very well. So we'll see. We'll see.
let's dive into it then, girl.
All right.
Like we have so much to
Mhm.
cover. Uh, you go first. What do you want to start with?
Well, let's talk about that really spooky fog shipper, the green ship, and also how hot and sexy Jeff's voice was with whatever new settings he had on his microphone. Because, whoo, baby, that was nice.
It was so good. It was so good. I think Jeff's descriptions
Yes.
again, I can't stress enough how much I love the passion that Jeff narrates in. And like
Hmm.
he always matches the scene with his intensity. So when he
Hmm.
was like, and the faces, and all you see is the faces, and he just kept like getting raw.
Like it was
Oh,
creepy.
it's beautiful. Exactly. Oh man, you should be a guest on that ship.
Oh, that would
Yeah,
be so
no.
cool.
It's yeah, no, I was genuinely like every time he would keep describing it, I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And then they were literally into madness. I actually got direct quotes from Jeff
Really?
from the Discord to clarify. I thought this was so cool. So he made 3 levels of madness. I know they went 3 rounds, so that makes
Yes.
sense. He said there was 3 levels of madness for each character that he had laid out, and he had a. This is the cool part, and I don't know if people miss this on the Discord, but Jeff said he had a full custom madness table for permanent effects that would have carried through to with their characters, even in the current slash future timeline.
Yes. Actually, I think he said that in the show as kind of like a side note after the whole ship scene was over with. And Jared was even making note that, yeah, if Civ wasn't banished into that alternate universe or whatever that James did for him, Civ would have likely probably gone to level 3 madness.
I know. I would have
That was a really, really great move on James's part. Um,
and
he
smart.
crazy that he didn't even know what the banishment actually does to the person, but surely it had to be better than what was currently going on. And it was such a precious scene that Mr. Whispers floated on by, and Civ was like, I just need Mr. Whispers cuddles because pets make things better. They really do. They take away the stress. They are easy to talk to and work through your troubles on, and Mr. Whispers was there for him. And I think that was
Yeah.
so wonderful for it. It was just
Yeah.
I had a
And
little tear up in my
yeah,
eye.
yeah, before we get into to our Civ stuff, I just like the madness. It was Fahima, James, and Civ that got to experience it. Lily and Ugo did not, correct?
That's
I'm
true.
correct.
That is
Uh,
correct
and
because they
Civ
had good
though,
roles.
yeah, so let's do Civ last because we want to dive
Okay.
into that. Uh James was interesting. Uh
Uh-huh.
his whole like Court jester, court jester.
Jester,
I was like, oh my
Jester,
God,
Jester,
yeah. I
Jester.
if that was in my head, man, I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
I think that I'm assuming that I took that as they were reading from, like, the tomb, like, they were all making pacts with not so nice things. Ooh.
I don't
James's
know.
madness is what confused me the most. I'm not even sure I understood
Yeah, I
his
felt
very
like
well.
everybody else's was pretty straightforward, but James's, it was either history that he has gone through, which I don't really think it was necessarily his history. I think it was probably, I don't know. I'm wondering if it has something to do with Squillace or any
I don't think it
uh,
was his
old
history per
family
se.
stuff that maybe he comes from a family of jesters. I don't know. It's such a far reach that I'm really curious to know what that has to do with, because Fahima's was pretty straightforward. It was, "Hey, Lily kept this from you," even though Lily really didn't intentionally do that, but, like, she
Did
kept that secret from her, and
didn't
so
she though?
I don't think so. I think it legit was, like, they just didn't have a moment to talk about it, and then it just slipped, like, so many other things happened that, "Oh, yeah," you need a reminder, "Hey, I need to talk to you about this."
I don't know. I personally think Lily totally kept it on purpose. And I
Why
don't
would
when I
she?
say on purpose, I don't mean like maliciously. I think for Lily, she was more battling of what did I see? Was that even real? Is it worth
Yeah.
saying something? I think it was more on that end, but I personally think Lily definitely kept it on purpose. Um, but that aside, I loved how in Fahima's she was just like, why did Lily keep that from you? Why do they all think they're better than you? You're a fire genasi. Like that was, I think, with Fahima's train of thought and where her mindset is, especially in the last few episodes slash days, it was perfect. I thought it really hit. I think what would have triggered her into that madness for
Yeah,
sure.
I think so for sure too.
And Sid,
Ugh,
oh,
poor guy.
as soon as Jeff said, um, they're ignoring you. They disgusted by you? Do they not? I was just like, oh, Sid, you
I
just
mean, Jeff
really.
just, like, sucker punched him with everything that could possibly be bad for Civ,
Mhm.
and then was like, "Okay, you moved, and now you actually stabbed James, but you didn't know it was James, you thought it was this other guy that was from your past." And it's like,
Oh
oh my gosh, like, no wonder, whenever he came out of the banishment, he was just so sullen about it, like, "Oh my gosh, he just can't handle much more right now." I think he's about Dunskies, like, he's mentally not doing well right now.
I agree. And for me though, as soon as he said that, like, they're disgusted with you, all this stuff, it just kind of reminded me, like, even though he comes off very hard and he comes off
Mhm.
very tough, Sue, at the end of the day, really does just want to be accepted. Like he
Yeah,
just wants that family. He just
I think
wants that.
so.
And
I agree.
and I literally I think when how you, me, and Grim Faded were talking about like punch gut moments last week. I think two of those this episode, and one was when James asked him, "Are you all right?" And he said, "I was alone." Like that touched me
Yeah,
right in the feels. I was like,
yeah,
no. And his like emotion and his genuine raw emotion with that. He's such a good actor.
yeah.
Um, and then the second one was the very first line in his poem.
Mhm.
It was so good. I have the poem in front of me. I don't
You
now, but
do?
I
Oh.
don't. I
Oh, you
did, but
don't?
I
Oh,
don't.
okay. It was a
But
really good poem.
just says I just like not his exact words, basically just saying that he got just abandoned. This poor cat. I remember a time when this cat got abandoned in the alleyway. It was so sad. Doesn't need to be accepted
Yeah.
as easy as they do.
It was a really sweet poem because it really went through all the different stages that he's gone through in his life and how regret's kind of a strong word for it, but all the different things he's gone through that he's carrying with him as baggage and that he wants to do better and stuff like that. So he really, really, I think that was a very heartfelt poem. It was my favorite poem he's ever written. I felt it was really straightforward, and I thought it was kind of funny in the chat. They weren't going to put this poem. They weren't going to read this poem separately. And all throughout the show, the chat was going crazy, like, read us the poem. And Jeff even mentioned it a little bit later. He said, "I think our audience we're going to lose them if we don't read this poem sometime soon." But none of the cast felt like it was the right time to talk about it or to read it. And so I thought it was a really nice touch that at the very end, the cast was like, okay, we're going to take turns and we're going to try to read this in a manner that Civ would probably read this. And it was, I was very touched by it. Like, I once again grabbed the tissue box. I don't cry, guys. And this show makes me cry often. It touches me in the soul so many ways.
I
Uh,
actually, at first, I agree. Because I didn't watch it live this week, unfortunately. But as even like on the Friday, I was just like, they better read that poem. I wasn't live, but I was literally like, no, they're gonna read that poem.
yeah.
And if Morgan didn't suggest randomly reading the poem, I was gonna be like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I also think that it had so much more of an impact. Each one of them taking a line. That was
Yes.
really good. That was
Yes.
it was definitely one of my favorite poems for sure. And I think you and I already talked about this, but I think that I have nothing but compassion and like empathy for Sid for this episode. I think he is practically at rock bottom now. I mean, he was not okay when he left.
No.
The whole madness thing was over, and he literally said to James, I think he was just like, I'm at your mercy. Like
Yeah.
he's
You did.
just so done, like defeated. Like he has very little left fight in him. And
I
I
don't
was like, oh
I
no.
really don't know how he's gonna fare through this castle. I really, really don't. I think he's really going to just entirely lose it. I would not be surprised to see him actually go through legit madness because they're still gonna need that liquor of the dead to make it through the castle with all the creepy deepies and all those different things that Jeff has cooked up and in store that we are yet to see. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's quite hit rock bottom, but I think he's pretty stinking close. I feel like he's just circling that rock bottom drain right down there.
Yeah. And speaking of rock bottom drains, you were like, we have to talk about how Behemoth saved Meep. And
Yep.
my first thought was, did she save Meep, guys? Did she?
I think he
Because
did, but we're not so sure because Jeff
he
said
made,
that she wasn't quite right when she came back.
yep, she literally said she flew back. She's there. She doesn't look right. And I'm wondering if she also got like a permanent type madness thing, whether
I'm
that means
wondering.
just for this timeline. I mean, or the next, I don't know, but
And
he
it could be
definitely,
that since she's just a bird, I mean, that's harsh to say she's just a bird, but she is. She's just a bird.
with
Maybe
8 hit
only one
points.
level of madness is all she can handle.
Yeah, I mean, she has 8 hit points as Jeff already.
Yeah.
And how
He
do we
about took
not
her out.
mention
Huh?
how did we also not mention the fact that they were really in an uphill battle between the liquor of the dead being a D6 and the level of madness being a D8 of damage? Like that
Oh
was
my
just
gosh, that was so intense.
woo.
Like, if you didn't roll, you had to a 17 was not cutting it on your
Yeah, so
roll to
I don't
not
know if
get
Jeff,
crazy. That is
yes.
insane.
I don't know if Jeff stated this on the show, but he said on the Discord that the level of madness started at a 16 con save and went up each round.
Oh, no, he
Like,
didn't say that, but I
yeah.
remember, on the second round, someone rolled a 17. I think it was James rolled a 17, maybe? Yeah, it was James that rolled a 17 because I think that's what started his jester scene.
Oh,
Yeah,
was
he
it
didn't
Sean?
save on that one.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So Sean is right. Yeah, it was one level. The madness damage was only once, but still that's a lot. And the con save of
Is.
16 with the liquor to the dead being D6, like it's a lot. It's a
It's
lot. It's
a
a lot. It's a lot.
lot. It's crazy, like, each sip you take was a D6, so Ugo
Yeah.
taking 3 sips at a time, that's 3 D6 sips, and so that has a potential of making 18 points from just the
Yeah.
liquor of the dead, and if you didn't do so well with your wisdom saving throw,
It's
then you get
crazy.
3 D8, which is another potential of 24 points. So you
It's a
could
lot.
get like half damage from just one round. So if the madness doesn't get you and you roll terribly, you might just die from it. Like if you
No,
don't roll
yeah.
mad, you will die. And
They
so
got
it'll be
they
really
got really
interesting to
lucky.
see if we have to deal with this again in the castle room. I'm
Or
really hoping
after.
everyone's dice
I,
do well.
I or after. I personally doubt it, but Whitebeard even said if the madness comes back or something like that happens again, shoot off the flare.
Oh
So
yeah, that's
who
true. Because
who
we don't know what
knows?
might be happening while they're on shore and everybody else is in the castle.
Yes, and should we move to my favorite part?
Yes, let's do that. Oh, wait, one more thing. I
Wow,
will bring
just
this up,
kidding.
and I didn't I'm sorry.
I'm just kidding.
Um,
Just kidding.
so, I did notice this in the chat while the show is playing, I think JT Justice made a mention, I have not checked this, but JT Justice did say that Lopa the Jerk, he died on that ship,
Yeah.
but he was also on the Tardy Plunder in the future. I
Mm,
haven't checked it,
I'm gonna say
but
no on
that would
that.
be an interesting thought.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I think it was a different guy.
Maybe a
Yeah.
different guy. I'm not entirely certain,
Yeah, no,
but
because
that
they
would
played
be
cards with someone in both timelines,
yeah.
but
And I
different
feel like
guy.
it was
He
the
got
same guy.
no, he got carried away in the
Okay,
light
never mind.
stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did Mr. Whispers. Pretty sure he said that he was a goner. He floated his body
Yeah,
off to
he
the
got carried
castle
off
where the
and he was dead.
Viscount is.
Yeah, he was lifeless.
Yeah, he was gone. But speaking of pirates, aren't you guys excited that it took me 20 minutes to start gloating about how amazing Whitebeard is?
Here we go.
Okay. This was one of the reasons, Sean, why this episode got a 9 out of 10 malls. Big baby steps. Yes, baby steps. This was another reason he got 9 out of 10 malls for this episode because with 70% of the Discord, your string is admirable. Thank you, Gordon Blade. 70% of the Discord kept throwing dodgeballs at me, playful or not, about how Whitebeard he doesn't care about Mervis, and the fact that Mervis hates him in the future is blah, 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 all this fact. And I've been saying since before the side adventure. No, guys. Let's not assume anything. Y'all are acting like it's fact that he was a terrible dad and didn't care about his son. And he did, guys. He did. This episode, he was so compassionate and he showed genuine concern and love for Mervis. Now, this is where I would say, cut to a clip that I put together showing to totally gloat. Perfect of all of the scenes that Whitebeard showed his compassion. But I didn't hear back from Bernardo, so I'm afraid to show it because I don't know how copyright crap works. But I totally made a video and I will probably post it in the Discord if I can. But everyone has been saying that Whitebeard is a very one-dimensional character, and this episode gave several instances where he's not. One was how much he showed concern and love for Mervis. But the other way that I think he kind of showed that he was logical, rational, and had human decency was when the party actually kept saying several times, hey, we kind of want to rest before we go to the castle. Whitebeard, is that okay? And they kind of asked it like he was going to say no. And Whitebeard very understandingly was like, you guys need to rest, like rest. And they even asked him like 2 times, like, are you sure? And he's like, guys, if you need a rest, just rest. And everyone was like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah, I was very surprised by that, like, how much Whitebeard was like, "No, really, if you say you need a rest, go ahead."
just
He's not really that pushy, and I think part of it was, "Okay, this is probably going to be a very hard, terrible castle. I need you at your 100% top of your game."
so
So,
rest. Like,
I mean, rest. He wasn't gonna push them that far.
He's not a complete monster, like
I'll give you, I'll
70%.
give him that. This episode really showed that he's not entirely a terrible monster. I mean, I still think he's kind of a really big jerk of a guy. I don't really like him, but he's not as bad as what we originally thought. You're right.
Thank you. That was one of the reasons why I loved Whitebeard since day one. Is I think he has much more depth and he has much more. He's interesting. He's not one dimensional. He has a lot of different aspects to him. He's very interesting. He's Mervis's property. Twin, I don't know about that property. But I think that Whitebeard has a lot more to offer than we think we do, than you guys think he does. And I'm really hoping that whether it just be Jeff posting it or maybe before this timeline ends, we actually get to see the original story that Jeff wanted to play out with Whitebeard and Mervis, because there's a whole story that we don't know because Uggo had to go and kill him. So
I'm really hoping that story is not actually caused by our sail swords here, like why all of that went about and why Mervis is so angry at Whitebeard. I'm really hoping that it is not their fault that did that.
I agree.
Because I think that would really, really put Uggo down a lot further, and like it would really tear him up a lot if he found out that they were the cause of it and then he went too far and killed him in the future. I think he would lose it. He would feel terrible about it.
Lily Dumblesuck fan, I 100% agree with you. You guys know how I'll react if we actually see Whitebeard as a hero in this castle thing. Don't even get me started. And Sean, I like Whitebeard because he has depth. That's one reason. As far as the sexy bartender goes, he's just really sexy. He was very stood his ground and didn't let the heroes of Bingle blow all over him. So I mean, he was just hot. I'm not always having depth answers for you. It's just it. But yes, Whitebeard was definitely a shining moment for me in this episode. And then and also, guys, he's very courageous. He's literally going with them to do this adventure. He's not a coward. He does his own business. He's just great. The fact that Whitebeard's actually with them, heading to the island and the castle and everything, I love it. Like, I could go on about Whitebeard all day. He has a lot of redeeming qualities. But speaking of when they did, as you and Jeff called them, the creepy deepies.
Yes.
I love it. So what were your thoughts when they were fighting the creepy deepies?
Well, first off, I want to give a hand to the animation crew, the guys that put the game room together, because that was spot on. Even the music and the whole entire show was on point. Like, even whenever Jeff emphasized something, the music matched it to a T. But those creepy deepies, I loved how they were colored and how cool they looked. And even whenever they died, they had their head back and then they disappeared. That was super cool. But I do feel like if you look at it carefully, it's most likely due to how the rollings were. But I feel like in a way that those creepy deepies were a little bit on the easy side, as like a easy welcome party. Here's your warm up kind of a thing to this dungeon run-esque type thing. But also, if you look carefully, there's some pretty bad rolls on Jeff's part that the creepy deepies didn't really have much to go by. Their attacks were missing or they were not that effective. And so all they had to do is just basically hit on these creepy deepies. And so it was not the most awesome battle out of all the different battles that they've had.
I think I also want to point out the fact that it was 7-on-2. So I think I agree with you, even though the party was rolling lucky and Jeff sucked at his rolls, ironically, with his dice. I do think I agree with you. I think it was an intro fight. What made this fight awesome for me was just more the creepy factor. Even though his attacks failed, just the way he described how his hands went to, the one hit I think he did get, I think it was to Uggo. He literally described it as like, you feel your life force being sucked a little bit. Like, just his descriptions of the battle is what made it amazing for me.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
So even though I agree with you, it wasn't the most intense battle. I was 100% fine just listening to the descriptions and the horror. And I mean, that is my jam any day of the week. So I agree with you. I think that's just a taste of what we're going to see when they come in. I know you also wanted to mention, you wanted to say something about Fahima and the birds.
Oh yeah, the fame and the crows
I
part,
like
like
that.
it was such a small bit, but I thought that was a really neat thing that Fahima got to do, like actually try and use a new special ability. And the way Jeff portrayed it was incredibly creepy. Like I don't know if anybody has read any Edgar Allan Poe stuff or whatever, but to me, I'm like, there's a lot of crows. And all of a sudden the crows all turn and look in one direction. If I saw that in real life, I think that's the point where I'd start be going, um, rocking back and forth, because that's the beginning of this is going to scare the bejesus out of you.
Aegis in chat even agrees with you. He says the crows were spookier than the ghosts.
Yeah,
So
I
thought
think
that
so
scene
too.
was.
So, but hey, we forgot to talk about Ugo talking to
Oh no,
Choran.
girl, I was going to circle it.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
no, you're good. So yes, I wanted to kind of end with that because I think I think it sets it up for thought where I want you guys to start thinking about in the next episode. And we're of course talking about when they were in their cute little boat thingy, lifeboat.
The little dinghy.
Yes, the dinghy. And they were like all crowded. And Jeff, the way he described it when like Siv and Ugo were like switching seats and they were like, yeah, excuse me, we'll swap seats. And how he was like, oh, he switched seats with Siv just to ask Choran, so should I kill you? Okay, no, okay, thanks. I'm just gonna, excuse me, I gotta go. It was hilarious. Best part. It was a great episode. Did I mention 9 out of 10 malls, everybody? But that conversation I thought was, again, another reason why this episode was so beautiful is because you and I talked about it. But we were talking about earlier how everyone was so wrapped into their own business last week. And I said it myself a little bit, how everyone was the party, by everyone I mean the party. They were so into their own, what they think is right. They were so into being the last call and kind of needing to make the decisions for everybody. No one but Ugo has been asking Choran what he wants, what he plans on doing. Like they're working more so against Choran than with him, except Ugo. Since day one, Ugo has been like, you have a family, all right, let's try to help them. How do you want to approach it? Okay, cool. Hey, Choran, we're gonna get into some nasty stuff. What do you want to do? And now that they realized that they were gonna be just all undead and there's all this stuff going on, he asked Choran, hey, it comes down to your family being undead or ghost. Do you want me to kill them? Do you want me to kill you? What do you want to do? And then he was like, no, don't kill him. He was like, okay, like he's listening to Choran. And I think
that's exactly what they needed to do because overall, like you said, they were trying to basically play the overarching god of everyone's fates and stuff like that. And it was really messing with everyone's heads. And I know Siv was really trying to work with Choran in many different forms. He was using his intelligence to work through this and try and figure out what Choran wants. But he was asking generalistic, overarching questions like, what do you want us to do? What do you want us to do? Well, it took Ugo a while to use his wisdom to go, maybe I just need to ask a specific question. And you can kind of tell that Jeff is like, come on, ask a specific question, because he could give you a specific answer, but overarching answer, he's not going to try and sway the party a certain way. But if you ask a specific question, he will give you a specific answer. And so it's kind of like whenever you have a customer and you want to do some customization stuff for the customer, you're not going to make decisions for that customization. You're going to ask the customer, what do you want to do in this situation? And that's what needed to happen was Choran couldn't give him an overarching answer. And that's what the whole party was desiring. But Ugo saying, okay, if you have these two choices, do you want to die or do you want to become a ghosty and haunt this place? Which one do you want? That is the question they needed. And I think that'll give them the direction that they need to go throughout this castle. At least it's part of it.
And yeah, and I second the fact that Civ was attempting at first to use intelligence, and I don't remember who in chat said it, but I agree. When that wasn't working, he went straight to intimidation and straight
Mhm.
to deception and
He tried
force,
all the
and
different tactics to get all the answer that he could, and it
it
just
was
wasn't
not going to work.
working.
It wasn't a good approach.
It wasn't a very good approach, but Jared was playing Civ correctly to
Oh
his
yeah, no,
character because
yeah, no,
that's
and I think
exactly what Civ should have been doing. And Ugo just needed some time to think it over and go, maybe we should just ask him exactly what he wants.
I think that that's Ugo's strength is he
Yeah.
comes from a very compassionate side. His whole goal is to try to not look like a monster. His whole goal is to try to
Yes.
embrace his humanity. He wants to be human. And so as soon as Charon said, I'm a father, I have a family, I have a son, he was like, boom, that's where I'm going. I'm going to
Hmm.
treat him as humanly and compassionate as possible. I
Yep.
think saving the world is given the parties fairly complex. Possibly Fat Monk. I think a lot of things that are going on in this
Yeah, I kind
with
of
the
agree with that
heroes.
a little bit too, Fat Monk.
I think it's a lot of things. I think that there's a lot of things that have kind of made them high on their horse in their own ways, all differently. But the fact is, they were on their high horse, and hopefully now that they're kind of in it, and with Civ being at the brink and everything that's going on, hopefully they'll get off their high horse a little bit.
Well, also
Um,
part of it is they're being too focused about being on that high horse, too focused on trying to figure out the fate of everyone that they're not thinking about the task at hand. And
yeah.
so as they were approaching that castle, they go, "Hey, maybe we should probably have some magical weapons. Can you make magical weapons? Can you make magical weapons?" They've already been through this. They had to go see Jorl for it. No, nobody can make magical weapons. So they talked to Whitebeard and he goes, "Maybe we should have talked about that before we left port."
Yeah, why would we need
They're
magical
not
weapons?
thinking about the task at hand. They are thinking about their problems instead, and they need to probably just swap that, and maybe their problems will be resolved.
Yeah, I really think that the situation, their environment, and their emotional battles, I think, are going to push them to thinking more clearly and in more realistically. Hopefully. So, do you have any other questions, comments, concerns, or thoughts about this episode before we chug it along?
Um, let's see. Oh, Ostrom's death.
Sad.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know the guy.
I
I'm
don't know.
still honestly, I feel like I'm so set on being confused at why the absolute heck he would bring his wife
I
and the
know.
child here, that I'm just kind of like, I need
What
to
it
know
was
more about that before I can totally feel like, darn, you're dead. That's just me. I don't know what he was
yeah,
doing.
because I mean, Ostrom thought that it was too dangerous for them to be over at Boster. So it's less dangerous to be at the Castle Rum to make that whole trip.
Yeah, now that
Like,
we've seen the
what is
trip,
it at
it's even
Boster
more
that's actually
confusing to
so
me.
bad that you have to go to this terrible place? It makes
Yeah.
no sense.
It doesn't. So I know there's an answer. Jeff is amazing and brilliant. And he has an answer for everything. It's not like they're not used to it, never prepared. I agree, but I mean, it's just there's got to be a reason, and I can't wait for Jeff to kind of lay it out for us because right now I'm just like, you brought a child here. I don't know what you're doing. You were I don't know, but yeah, it's sad. I feel bad for Chiron, but I mean, this was a
Yeah.
guy who made weird decisions and kind of put himself in that situation. I
We
don't
really don't
know.
even know that backstory either. So it could be that he might have actually legitimate had to put his family in hiding. We don't know. I mean, he kind of sidestepped any direct questions about the history of his family, like who
But
his wife is.
it's still I said this on the Discord and I'll say it now. Even if hiding was your goal, oh, they won't find us in hell. Let's all go to hell. Like it just doesn't make sense. I feel that this is pretty close to a very horrible place no one wants to
Mhm.
go. So why would this there's I bet you in this world, probably bigger than our earth, there are places to hide. It's just I don't know. Just a
Yeah.
weird journey to take. But to
Yeah.
each their own. Um, so before we move to our amazing, well, I don't want to say amazing, but trivia segment, I think we have a sponsor.
Yes, I
Vanurslice,
do think so. We do have a sponsor. we have our wonderful sponsor of, let's see, last week we did Reminiscence of Sea Hag. Well, this week we have the Liquor of the Dead. So, going somewhere? Perhaps your party is at the Castle Rum. Well, just any old rum won't do to dull the senses. Try the Liquor of the Dead. Brewed to perfection over years of experimentation, this community effort brew is sure to bring anyone's constitution to their knees. Scared? You should be. 1 pint of this and you'll be crying for your granny to save you from your turmoil. If the Liquor of Dead won't send you to your grave, the madness will. Disembody your bottle today at your local lighthouse.
Ooh, are you gonna show? Yeah, girl.
Yes.
Get it.
So I brewed this myself. I did not use a dead body necessarily.
Or did she?
So it is terribly gross and disgusting. I'm not drinking this.
I was not drinking. Gonna ask you to drink it.
Oh,
Don't you want to take a DA to damage?
No.
Is that what you want to do today?
No.
Sure?
Not today. No, I've already gone through a little bit of insanity stuff today. I've had a lot of fun with a headache or a migraine. So
losers of the trivia have to drink from the Liquor of the Dead. Yeah, make it canon. So I think that's an amazing sponsor. I think if you guys want to go and take a nice journey to the Castle Rum, pick up a bottle today. But now, there you go. Only need less than a pint, so you're good. You don't need that much. They really want you to drink it. That's hilarious.
Oh no, I am not drinking this. You know what's in this? Let's get some guesses on what is in this.
All right, they can guess. In the meantime, let's get our trivia people out here so I can explain how. Yes, this is. I have my score.
Poop? No.
This is happening. This is going down.
Oh, please don't.
Joe, you wanna kick Vanurslice out for the time being? She wants to go give refreshments to those who are now not backstage. She's gonna set that up. I saw that you were not happy with our backstage refreshments.
Nah, it was the green M&M.
Well, she's gonna spice it up for the backstage then. So this is how this week's trivia is going to go, gentlemen. So I'm going to ask each of you one at a time a question. Obviously, if you get it right, you get a point. If you get it wrong, you get nothing. However, how stealing is going to work this week is if the person I'm asking the question to doesn't know the answer, the other two get a chance to steal. However, with this game, if you want to steal and you get it wrong, I'm going to minus you a point. So you can only guess if you feel / you know the answer. Yeah, guys, it is FailWaffle. This is going to be a game. And so, yeah, that's how you guys are going to do the stealing. The way we're going to do the stealing is because there will be two of you to try to guess. If you want to steal, the first person to raise their hand, I will have go first to steal. Pretty simple and easy explanatory. You have a question, Changebox.
I'd like to leave right now. Help.
Nope. You're already stuck. Loser gets to drink from the Liquor of the Dead.
Reread the contract real quick. I don't remember this part.
It's in fine print. You didn't get it? Look, it's all here. You just got to read the fine print. Oh, there you go.
All right. I keep drinking this. Random words are sure to come out.
Does everybody have any questions, comments, concerns? Say them now or die by Whitebeard. Cool. All right. Who wants to go first?
I'll fail.
Okay. So I want to, because I'm really proving a point this episode, guys. I saw all of your amazing brood comments that I was going to murder everybody who did trivia today, and I just want to say, like Whitebeard, I have feelings and emotions too. So I actually am going to start off the trivia with very easy questions and get harder. So y'all should get some of these right. All right, Changebox. Question number 1. True or false? This back in time adventure is a side story / quest. True or false?
It was, but it's no longer, so it's true and false.
You only answer. It's a test, sir. Are you gonna
Okay.
circle true or are you gonna circle false?
True.
It is false because it is, like you pointed
That's
out,
fine. I'll take
it
the
is no
0.
longer a side.
Why did you not? You need to let them steal.
It's 50-50 on that one, y'all. It is either you get it wrong or you get it right. They'll still get plenty of chances to steal. So I'm gonna go with DJ. You're gonna do this next one, since
Cool.
that was true or false. Your question is, yes, now that we know it is part of the main adventure now, how many episodes of the dungeon run are there currently?
Including this episode? 47.
See? Ooh, that is correct. That is correct. Oh my gosh. I have a score sheet. That is one. No one has to steal. It is 47. Mr. Whispers, following with the topic, in the 47 episodes that are all in one main adventure, what was the name of the most recent episode?
Oh, man. I just watched it too.
Oh,
We all
I'm so
did.
sorry.
I have no idea. I don't know.
Anyone want to steal? Oh, they don't even know it. Name of the, Changebox.
The last episode?
Yes. Are you Googling it? Where are your hands?
No.
Sir, please sit back.
Put them up, guys. Put them up.
No, I'm going negative. Yeah, I have no
Probably.
idea either. I just want to
You
make you
just
feel better,
raised
Mr.
your
Whisper.
hand.
Sorry.
Why did you do that to yourself? You now have a giant negative one. Oh, you have a negative one now. DJ?
I'm
Wow.
not going to
Wow,
raise
guys.
my hands. The second part is something madness. That's all I remember. I don't remember the first part, so I'm not gonna guess.
Good aunt. That is
It's-
strategy right there. You were very close. The last episode is called, and Cold Candor got it right in chat, Voyage into Madness is the name of this episode.
So close.
You guys,
All
you
right.
guys ready for that warm-up round? Round 2, Changebox with your
There we
negative
go.
1. Let's see if you can get on the scoreboard here.
Oh, I'm
a
on the
nice
scoreboard.
person, though.
Wow,
You are
this is almost
technically
round.
on the scoreboard, yes.
On
My
scoreboard.
experience is that easy questions are always hard. Is it Corbin played? Is it? Those are too hard? We'll see. Question number 2 for you, Changebox. What is the name of the sea hag's sister that we met?
Sea Hag's sister?
Yeah, I'm trying to help. That we met
Wait, the
in
Sea Hag has
Turles.
a sister? Oh, God. I told you not to invite me.
I'm very happy I invited you. Thank you guys for being here today.
I'll go with the worst possible answer.
Thank you for inviting us.
June. Maybe June.
June, anyone want
Is
to
her name
steal?
June?
No.
I'll try.
Anyone want to steal? Ooh, DJ.
Griselda.
Yes, I was like, I've been calling her Grizzy for so long. I'm just like, no, that's right. That sounds right. Grizzy, my
I'm
homegirl.
glad
we
you
have
took
tea
that
all
one.
the
I
time.
was close, but not quite there.
Mhm.
You got. Oh, you say you're lucky he took that from you, Mr. Whispers.
Yeah, I was gonna say Griselda.
I might have given it to you. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
how
I
cut
remember
the
it because there's like another
Choose
character in like a movie or a book or something with a similar name that it clicks. I don't remember where it's from though.
So yes, Changebox, Griselda, the hag that they met in Turles is the sea hag sister.
Yeah, I'm
Following
pretty
in
sure her friends call her June.
June, you maybe. I'll ask her this Sunday when we have tea. I'll check in on that for you. Stay tuned.
Thank you.
So DJ, following in that
Yes.
same route, what sibling position is Griselda?
Ooh. Griselda. I'm
Even
gonna
the
say
chat is giving
youngest.
very different answers.
I'm gonna say youngest.
You are correct. You are correct.
Oh, okay. Great.
She is the
Okay.
youngest. A lot of people in the chat said middle, and someone just said the big spoon. She is the baby. She is the baby. You are at 3 points, sir.
I
Mr.
wonder how
Whispers.
long hags live.
Oh, you're asking. I don't know D&D guys. So moving right along. Mr. Whispers, you ready to try to get on the board, sir?
Let's give it a shot.
I believe in you. following again the same topic, when they were talking to Griselda, who is the youngest of the sea hags in Turles, she screamed the line, "How dare you?" Who was she talking to?
She was talking to James.
Ah, yes. See, guys?
That's one of my favorite lines in the entire series. It caught me totally off guard, and it was so intense.
Isn't it just so relaxing all the time? Jeff is so relaxing, guys. Yes, I love that part as well. Clearly, it's magical. So in some form, everybody is on the scoreboard, everybody. Fantastic. Changebox. I love you guys. You ready for this? I'm starting. One of my favorite trivia type questions is quotes. I'm going to give one round of easy quotes and one round of hard quotes. Changebox. I'm going to give you the easiest one because you're amazing. And if you don't get this, I will literally kick you out of this trivia right now and make you down the entire bottle of the liquor of the dead. Okay? That's how serious I feel about this question. The quote is, if anyone is surprised, "No deserters, no cowards, only pirates." Who said this line? Don't look at me like that.
Hang on. I'd like to show you this really cute cat that I have. Like, check this out. Is this cat not super cute? Does it not deserve a point? Look at it. It's a little runt. It's a rescue. I have no idea.
Because you killed your cat, I will take away kicking you out, and I won't make you drink from the liquor of the dead because that was the only thing that could save you.
Now I've used up my lifeline.
Who wants
give it to me again.
Whispers?
Give it to me again, then I'll try it.
No deserters, no cowards, only pirates.
Well, that sounds like Whitebeard. That sounds like something Whitebeard would say.
You got it! You got it!
Oh my God! Can I go now?
No, you signed on for this. You're sticking to the end.
Changebox is now at 0, everybody. Woo!
Remember, guys, you really have no chance whatsoever.
Grim Faded in chat says Changebox is playing dirty, and I love it. I love it too. Play dirty anytime. I might just give you half a point for that, sir.
That's how we roll here.
DJ, you ready for your easy quote?
Yes.
Which one should I give you? I'm going to give you this one. This is also should be absolutely no shocker to everyone watching. "Come for me, you know not how. I am ready to see you now." Who said this line? No cheating at chat. If any of you eyes here.
My monitor's off.
Eyes, all right, I'm looking straight at you. I'll send a picture. That's the sea hag.
Anyone
Not
want to
Griselda,
steal?
the sea hag.
I do want to
Mister
steal.
Whispers.
That was Urtenfurt.
Ooh!
Oh, right. Yep. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay.
You're
Female
lucky I
voice
didn't
threw me
threaten to
for a
kick you out of
second.
this chat room. You're lucky it was too late to sign that one.
The line was a
Yes,
dead
that
giveaway.
was my boy Urtenfurt. Mr. Whispers, are you ready for your easy one?
Yeah, I think so.
You're still in the you're still in the lead, DJ. So no pressure. You're good for now.
Okay.
Your easy quote is, "Get out of my head."
Is that Uggo?
Chance to steal. Anyone? DJ. Or was that you? Was that you raising your hand?
That was me saying
I'll
these
let him- I'll let him do it.
Oh,
I'll let him do it.
you don't know this trivia. You're just making these answers up. Never
I
mind.
literally thought you were just dancing. I swear I thought you were dancing. Changebox, I will give those to you. What is your answer?
No. Please don't. Please don't. I have no idea because I was sure that was correct.
You're incorrect. Oh, that you were giving him a point. That's what you were doing. No, that is so incorrect. DJ.
Bargain.
You stopped for a second. I was like, yes, that was indeed Bargain. Did you guys not notice that every single one of these quotes were villains? Everyone notice any of them? Anyone? Okay. That was the easy quoting round. I'm going to give you guys the hard one just to see if y'all can get it and if chat will get it. doing easy and hard here. Changebox, are you ready for your really hard quote?
No, I don't seem to have my cat. Hang on.
The cat.
Hey, if my monitor is off, your cat's out of the room, buddy.
Your cat saved you from
Right?
instantly. It saved you from instantly kicking out for sure.
Even the cat won't take on the hard question. Bring it on.
I'm going to give you the easiest of the hard ones. I think.
It really doesn't matter. You should give me the hardest of the hard ones to spare these guys.
No. Does that sound something like I would do?
Okay, embarrass me.
I'm going to give you the easiest one, and this should tell you how difficult these are. Your quote is, I want to see if anyone gets this. It should be fun. Your head tells you that I can read my writing, guys. Your head tells you things that are false. Your head tells you things that are wrong. I think your heart knows the truth, and you must listen. I'll say that one more time because I jacked it. Your head tells you things that are wrong. I think your heart knows the truth, and you must listen. Who said that?
It sounds like something Lily would say, so that must be wrong, and therefore that's my answer, Lily.
Incorrect. I didn't want to steal. I love how chat is literally giving all kinds of different answers. But I will give you a hint. Someone in chat did say it correct. Someone did give the correct answer.
My monitor's off, so I can't see. I'm
Mister
gonna try to
Whispers.
steal.
No cheating.
I don't. My monitor's off, yo.
Sure.
I don't remember his name, but I'm pretty sure that was the holy man talking to Civ in Winkberg.
I'm kind enough to where if you give me the character without saying his name, I would give it to you. But you're still wrong. So I was a minus point for you, sir. DJ, do you want to try? Some people are super surprised in chat. That is not correct.
It's a trap.
But someone in chat has gotten the correct answer. Do you want me to read it one more time? Or are we good?
One more time.
I'm gonna give 30 seconds if you want to steal.
That's fine.
Your head tells you things that are wrong. I think your heart knows the truth and you must listen.
I'm just gonna say James.
You know, you are allowed to just not steal. You're allowed to just keep your lead.
I know, but I have, yeah. I'm gonna say James.
You are incorrect. It is Aegis 13 got it right the first time. It is Dondo.
Oh, that was my next guess. I just wanted to throw that out there just for gigs, but
sure it was.
He had it.
I mean, I'm not trying.
DJ, you ready for your hard one?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I know trivia is going, but this is fun, guys. This is fun. Okay, I don't care. We're gonna go overtime. I don't care. I want to give you the hardest one because you're still technically in the lead. I will be surprised. I'll be surprised if anyone gets this. Anyone who gets this right gets my automatic respect. You make a good point. I used to be the one who talked about how orcs should be trusted. I've always thought orcs should be trusted. I will read it one more time. This one's the hardest one. Yeah. You make a good point. I used to be the one who talked about how orcs should be trusted. I've always thought orcs should be trusted. I love how the audience is just silent. I don't even know what that means.
The only one I can think, I can't remember her name. But was it the orc that was on the Tardy Plunder? Not now, but before.
Oh, I know who you're talking about, and no. Anyone want to steal? I love how no one knows this. It makes me happy. Sean?
No.
Hello, Sean? I'm sorry. Does someone have your hand or your voice? I'm just kidding. I'm a brat. It was Loudmouth, everybody. Loudmouth said that in 3 episodes ago. He was talking about when Whitebeard was saying that you might make, it was Loudmouth who said that. He was talking.
I didn't recognize it because it was a sentence instead of a paragraph.
That was one sentence, sir. There are these things called commas. You should look into them. He said that to the party when they were talking about how cool and how Ugo was moving up in the ranks. He said that. And baffled. He has said
Oh, gotcha. Okay, now I remember that. Okay.
All right, Mr. Whispers, you ready? And then after this, I'll do a quick fire round, and then I'll let you guys go. You ready, Mr. Whispers, for yours?
Ready or not?
It's pretty hard, too. If the wardens are supposed to protect us, what kind of things could capture a warden? What kind of things could do this?
Oh,
Ooh, everyone has a different answer in the
is
chat.
it Corvold the Timid?
No.
No. Okay.
Anyone want to steal?
One more time, please.
If the wardens are supposed to protect us, what kind of things could capture a warden? What kinds of things could do this?
Yep, still don't know.
Wow, someone in chat actually got it right. DJ.
Fahima?
That was actually the most common guess in the chat, but that is incorrect.
I want to throw one out there just for
and
giggles before
Mr.
you.
Whispers are now tied.
Say it, say it, say it.
The
Was
answer
it
is Kaz Faren actually got it right. It was Margaret Dumplestock, Lily's mom. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
People actually got it right. Okay, I will do a quick fire round with easy questions, and then I'll let you guys go. Everybody, you guys are having fun though, right? I'm having fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. This is an easy one. Changebox. This is for you. When talking to the elders in Dol Tothum, when they were trying to get the elders to talk to them, who suggested using music?
Using what?
Music. To get
Wouldn't
them to
Lily
remember.
suggest music?
Ooh, anyone want to steal? This is an easy one, guys. I lost my headpiece. No one want to steal? So just to keep the
I
score.
think I know, but
Do it. Go, get it, get it.
fine. I'll just.
All right.
I'll go.
I love how it was the first wave in chat gave the right answer. The second wave in chat was so wrong. It was Civ who suggested using music. He suggested Lily do the musicking, but it was not Lily, y'all. It was Civ. Okay, this should be fun. True or false? No, hopefully this is. I don't expect you guys to get this, but I thought it was a fun question. DJ, true or false? When Lily auditioned, she was a mountain gnome. True or false?
Wow, I don't remember this.
They didn't say this. They said this on a rundown. How much of the show do you pay attention?
I try my best, but
True or false?
I want to say false. I don't think she was a gnome at all.
I guess by default I have to give you the point. I thought she was a waffle gnome. Oh, waffle gnome. You're correct, it is false, but she was a gnome. She was a forest gnome originally.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Gnome. Yes. Mr. Whispers, are you ready for your final question?
Let's do it.
If you get this question right, you tie with DJ.
Okay, so for the tie.
This means everything.
For half the marbles.
You should be. This is for my homegirl Grim Faded. What was the first thing Grim Faded bought for the show? She said this
Probably
last week.
Oh yeah? Probably a Force of Evil.
Wow. Changebox.
Force of Good for Civ.
Ooh.
Or was it Augo? Was it Augo?
I might give you half a point. Grim
Yeah,
Faded,
I gotta screw everything up.
I want to make sure I have it. I have that as half correct. Does that
put me in -0.5 or -2.5? Where am I at?
No, you were right, Changebox. It was a Force of Good for Civ. He gets a point.
There we go.
That's exciting. All right, so final score. You guys are fantastic. 1 point for Changebox, 2 points for Mr. Whispers, and 3 points for DJ.
All right.
That was fun though, guys. Thank you for playing with me.
That was awesome. I
think that was
loved those
amazing.
questions.
Did you?
Yes,
Yeah.
those are awesome.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you guys are fantastic. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all the watchers, the show, everything. You guys are absolutely amazing.
Oh, Changebox, you know we feel the exact same way about you. I thank all three of you for coming on today. Maybe we'll have a round two. Maybe y'all can do FailWaffle's trivia again sometime. Stay tuned.
The rematch.
Before Dice takes you guys away, I do want to announce some point in the future we're gonna have a giveaway. I don't know how, when, who, and how that's gonna happen. Maybe I'll just do a giant trivia like tournament type thing. But there is a giveaway in the making coming up. So if you guys do want to re-enter, whatever that looks like, the prize is going to be awesome. So
Do it.
thank you guys for joining us. Let's bring my co-host
Thank
back
you.
up in here.
Thanks so much.
You guys are awesome. Enjoy the refreshments backstage. Vanurslice, did you refresh their stuff? Did you give them snacks back there because they were complaining? You're muted still. She already drank from it.
There we
lost her
go.
voice.
Yeah. No, I poured him a little bit more liquor than Dad. I noticed that Changebox was starting to lose his sanity there and not answering questions entirely correct. So
Amazing.
maybe his wisdom checks didn't quite make it through, but that's okay. That's okay. I have more liquor than Dad if anyone's interested. Just it stinks. That this glass that I poured actually does stink pretty bad. It's been brewing for about a week. It's a pretty
Fire, but don't. I know we're way over time, and I just don't care at this point. But we are not done with the show. We have our last segment, which is Interview with the Watcher. Today we
Yay.
are interviewing Kaz Faren, and I'm saying his name all wrong, and he can correct me when he gets on here. There he is.
Hi.
Hey guys.
We have so much to cover, and we have so much to talk to you about. First of all, please tell me if I am jacking your name, sir.
Kaz Faren.
Uh,
Okay,
it's
I
Kaz
do believe I
Faren.
said that correctly earlier, though. I do.
So Faren like Karen. You did.
Hi,
you did. Yeah.
hello, and how are you, sir?
I'm doing well. I've already taken about 3d6,
Okay,
so I've been
okay.
kind of backstage for a while now. So
Okay.
might be a little
have
loopy, but
little
we're hanging in.
That's how that works, right? That's how that, that's how that works. I'm such a nerd. Anyway, moving right along. Why don't you tell us how you found / got into the show?
Well, I think like a lot of us, I just kind of came upon it by accident. I had gotten back into D&D. Gosh, I know it's like spring of last year, early, and was searching for something related to that, and just happened to have this video come up, and it was Jeff's little intro for the dungeon run before it even started. And I thought, wow, this sounds really cool, and so I watched the first episode,
Awesome.
and I was hooked.
It was really good. It was really
So
good.
I guess that was the moment that hooked you. So how did you find the Discord, or was the Discord shared to you?
Well, early on, if you watched live, Dice and Capes was pretty, I don't know, pretty adamant about, hey, folks should join the Discord, and I'm not even on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that, so I kind of dragged my feet for quite a while, but finally, I think about August of last year, I jumped in, and it was great. So,
well, I'm
yeah.
glad you're here. You're transcribing and debating with me and all kinds of things brings seriously a smile to my face and my soul. So I really appreciate it. And speaking of your amazing name that I pronounce correct only sometimes, how did you get your username? What made you choose your username?
Well, like I said, I got back into D&D last spring, and I think the very first character I made was Kaz Faren. So he's a half-elf rogue. He's kind of a secret agent for the Harpers in Waterdeep. But he got sucked right into Barovia, and now it's part of a Curse of Strahd campaign. But so Kaz was my first character.
Honestly, I think
decided
that's
to use him for the
perfect.
Discord.
Which obviously you're a D&D player then, which I think I know just by seeing you in the general discussion. But I think your first player is always very like personal to you. I talk from experience of someone who just created their first character not too long ago. So I think that's a great name. I think I saw Jared in the chat, which I think is pretty great for what we're about to get into. One of the things that Kaz wanted to share is why don't you talk about it? What am I doing? You tell what we're about to show.
Were we talking about what? Were we talking about the song or what? Okay, well, so the song is called Daughter of a Wish, and it was inspired by Fahima's letter to her father in episode 43. And Fahima's like one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite character, for a lot of reasons. But one reason is that, you know, she's the only child, a teen daughter of her father, and was kind of born from this miracle or this wish. And my daughter is kind of very similar in that respect, without going into a lot of details. But when she wrote that letter to her father, it was really easy for me to put myself in her father's shoes and think, well, what would I want to say to her? You know, I mean, we're not together, and what would I want to tell my daughter? And I want her to know how much I love her, how proud I am of her, and encourage her in some way. And so it's on one hand, it's about Fahima, on the other hand, it's about my own daughter.
And
so sweet.
Yeah. So
yes, and on that amazing note, I want the man behind the curtain to actually play everybody the song.
That would be
as
a
soon as he
treat.
does that.
Daughter of the wish, treasure of your father's heart, child, you are a dream come true. And I remember the little girl with fire in her eyes, a flame within her soul, and a burning need to know, and a great big heart. As long as we're apart, keep growing, keep learning, let the fire in you keep burning, and know how much that you are loved, how greatly you are missed by the father of the daughter of a wish, the daughter of a wish, my daughter of a wish.
That was lovely.
I no joke, I'm not just saying this, but since we agreed and talked about you sharing that, I've just literally like had the song playing in the background and stuff. And just to let everybody know, like that was your voice, correct? Like you did that yourself.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
me. That's me.
Good job. I like it.
I think that I know we say it, but it just it never gets old that the passion, the creativity, the talent in this community is off the charts. And I'm very happy that we got to share that and talk about that. And I think you should create more songs. Tell them about your other song. Speaking of.
Well, so back in, I think, November, I wrote a song for the Dungeon Run as well, based on the theme music. Yeah, if you go back into November, it's in there somewhere. I can repost it to the Discord again. But basically, it's just a song about the adventure itself. So I guess leave it at that.
No.
Yeah. Voice for that.
That's why, Jared, I was like, oh, you came in at the perfect timing, because I know that you appreciate the creativity that this community has. And it really was a beautiful song. And I think knowing also that it comes from your relationship with your daughter as well, it just gives me a little tear. Is there anything else? Yes, I didn't throw you out there. Is there anything else that you want to share, or anything else that you want other watchers and runners to know about you or about your favorite moments on the show before we get to the last reason you're
To the
here?
nitty gritty. No, not really. I mean, I love the show. Obviously, we all do. I mean, it's just such a special community. I love being a part of it. The show is just amazing in so many ways, right? I mean, just the story itself, Jeff as a DM, all the voices, just the the passion the actors bring to their characters, the technical aspect, the music. I mean, it's just great. One thing I really love about the Dungeon Run that you don't have in other live streams is that this mechanism of the secret room, right? So, in some live streams, I mean, everybody hears everything, or you've got the DM going over and whispering in someone's ears, and you don't know what they said. But one thing I love about the Dungeon Run, it's so cinematic because as a watcher, everything. You know everything that's been said, and so I think that's really cool. It makes it a lot of fun. But yeah, so I guess that's it.
And I think Vanurslice and I can agree with everything you just said.
Yes,
110%.
100%, 100%.
I think though, it's slipping me. I think there's another reason you're here. Do you want to?
Yeah, I think so. There was something about some kind of bad, although I'm not sure I ever really made it. It was just kind of, something that was.
Are you going to elaborate, or do you want me to?
Oh no, I'll let you elaborate. I think this is your moment. This is your moment, Fail.
So, part of the 70% of the Discord that challenged me in Whitebeard having any type of concern and compassion for his son, Kaz and I actually made a straight up bet, and he bet that Whitebeard didn't give a flunkadunk about his show, and I said, no, guys, he has feelings, and I'm positive he cares about his son. So we made a deal, and whoever lost this bet had to give and surrender to the other person their pride, and we all know who won. So Kaz, can you tell everybody what you have prepared today?
Yes, I have. This is a little poem called Ode to Whitebeard.
I haven't heard this.
Poetic apology of sorts. And it goes like this. Whitebeard is not perfect, and you'll get my gist if I mention just some of the flaws I could list. A liar, a cheater, a murderer, thief, an abusive crew beater. He's a social deep reef. So cruel, he would cut his first mate's tongue out. A vain, boastful pirate, he is no Eagle Scout. Yet, while we know Mervis at a much later date would have for his father nothing but hate, it must be admitted he once was his hero, and was not always a total parenting zero. For when danger was near on that dire castle run, Whitebeard did fear for the fate of his son. So my apologies, dear Waffle. I was wrong, I confess. I still think Whitebeard stinks, but now he stinks just a little bit less.
Well done. Very graceful, even though she made you do that. It's very graceful of you. That's good.
didn't make him do
Fair is fair. Fair is fair.
Oh, yeah.
I do. Could you please, sir, post that on the Discord?
You bet. I'll do that.
And before we end this amazing show, since Jared is here, I'm sorry, Jared. Was it 3 weeks ago you told me here in the watch party that he didn't care about his son? I think you should write me a poem too, sir. That was bold. I apologize. I'm just really
that was very bold.
Jared, I love you. Oh, Kaz Faren, thank you for the song, for that beautiful poem. I actually think I'm going to print that because that was actually very beautiful. Vanurslice, before we end, any comments, questions, concerns?
No concerns other than if you try and be more bold, you might stir up some more trouble than it's worth. But thank you so much, Kaz Faren, for
thanks for
your
having me on. Yeah.
for your wonderful poem, and definitely for that song. It was absolutely beautiful, and it was a pleasure
Thank
having
you.
you on. And thank you to our trivia contestants going through and racking your brains on the answers that most of us didn't even know. But you guys did a great job, and especially to Changebox for showing us your kitty.
Fine and dirty, I always approve.
And thank you, Dyson Cape, so much for running our tech. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you. Thank you.
Yes, on that note, thank everybody who did participate.
Yes.
Thank you, Kaz, you're magical. Thanks, Chaotic Brain, for letting us use the picture. Thank Baron Wilderness for the background and the logo. Thank you all for putting up with me and yelling at you guys here and on the Discord. Vanurslice, thank you for putting up with me week after week and dealing with me.
Hey, it's
I love you
totally a
too.
lot of fun. I appreciate it doing all this every week, and I have a lot of fun doing it.
I love you too, Mustic. Not as much as I love Jared, apparently, because you like Morgan better. We'll talk, girl. But I also want to end the show by saying, anyone, we never asked you guys to, but anyone who does give props or any type of anything to the show, it doesn't go to us. None of us take any of the money. All we do is we just put the money right back into the show. We're going to put it all towards the force cars as soon as they're available again. Just letting you know, I love you. And yeah, thank you guys for joining us for another magical week, and I will see you all soon. As always, guys, humankind, be both.
Be both.
Oh, wait. There.